let's queer up education. Florida banned public funding for college diversity inclusion programs. DEI and FLA? No way. The State Board of Education is happily implementing a law banning state colleges from using state or federal money for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Those are defined as any program, campus activity, or policy categorizing individuals based on race, color, sex, national origin, gender, identity, sexual orientation, promoting differential or preferential treatment on such grounds. It's the latest implementation of a law passed in the last session. The board also wants to change core curriculum. They want to remove a sociology class and replace it with a course on American history before 1877. This affects all of Florida's public universities, many of which are led by Governor DeSantis' yes men, including UF President Ben Sassa, who openly states that the U.S. has too much democracy. It's funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true that America has too much democracy, according to the president of
the flagship
university. Sorry, Seminoles.
And a former senator to boot.
And a senator from Nebraska, so that part doesn't surprise me. But the fact that he's leading one of our educational facilities, but this is just one of a dozen or so state colleges around the country that is just narrowing the thought process. You know, you narrow the words, you narrow the ability of people to think. It's like the Heritage Institute and DeSantis all read their Orwell and said, hold my drink.
Yeah, I mean, the process here, basically, this regulation is going to eliminate any kind of association that is campus association that is based on all those criteria. In other words, protected status. Yeah. Some of them are federal protected. So goodbye Gay Straight Alliance or any kind of queer association. Goodbye any kind of based on nationality, for example, international students association. So now everyone must be treated the same, except that essentially just creates a systemic discrimination.
Yeah,
we're losing all our freedoms. Just going right out the door, one at a time, like a playing card. Deal right out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Not one at a time. They seem to be taking out whilst at every swing.
Scooping them up.
So I've been watching this all transpire from, on campus. And this all started about a year ago when there was a McCarthy-era letter that came from the Board of Governors or whoever they are, the Education Department. And they wanted a list of every program, every faculty member, anything that had diversity inclusion in the title. Yeah. And so all the work that we did as faculty to create definitions of teaching and learning, to create mission statements, have all been just scraped. One day they just went into, the college attorney, because it was the law, they went into our course outlines, which is what we teach. It's what we tell the state that we teach. And diversity and inclusion was wiped out of every one of them. All the learning outcomes were just changed like that. And in order to make those learning outcomes, it took hours of people power, committees. It was terrible.
Am I the only one who's wondering what a degree from the state college in Florida will be worth in years to come with these restrictions? I mean, other than maybe going to work for the Koch brothers or Uline, who will hire someone with a degree from a Florida State College?
I mean, basic sociology. They removed basic sociology because they're so afraid that, learning that society is diverse and equality is a thing. I mean, instead they want to teach basically a Hillsdale College version of American history. That's come from the conservative movements to counter the New York Times inspired curriculum of emphasizing on minorities in their role in American history. They start a new project called 1776 or something, where it was like, it's white. America is a white Christian nation. Separation of church and state is never real. It's going to be completely hogwash. It's going to be a hogwash substitute of curriculum.
So banjo lessons will be a required
probably.
Exactly.
But do you think we're going to have another Stonewall? On our campuses at some point? Will we rebel against it?
I think there'll be lawsuits.
I don't think their students are motivated enough to do that. I have a lot of faith in the young people coming through our college systems, and I think that they will change things for the better. But I don't think they are 1960s passion.
No. And just in case you're wondering, wow, 1877, that sounds random, but it's not. It is basically from the end of Reconstruction, or basically the beginning of the end of Reconstruction, all the way back to however far they go. Now, I haven't seen the course curriculum, the course outline, but I have a feeling it's not going to start off with our slave-owning founding fathers. And that's not a slide, that's not making stuff up. That's just real. They want to continue, basically this is continuing to whitewash American history as we've already done it for our first 240, 50 years, however long you want to say slavery here goes back, and our discrimination against minorities. At one time, the Irish were discriminated against because there were too many of them coming over across the sea. There were too many Italians coming in, and we all know there are hateful, racist names that go along with those, but those sort of faded in history because they blended easier. But the fact is, America is built on the backs of other people who did not share in our democratic dreams from the very beginning. And now we've got people like Governor DeSantis and his fascist enablers who are saying, you still do not belong in this American dream.